Hello, good day everyone. We are the Group 3 and we are going to discuss about the self-efficacy theory. Without further ado, let's get started. So before we formally start, what comes into your mind when you hear the word self-efficacy? So to answer that, self-efficacy is a person's belief in their ability to succeed at tasks they take on. It means the belief a person has in their ability to attain results, to meet the challenges ahead of them, and to influence events that affect their own lives. At this point, I just want to inform you that social learning theory is the result of separate research by Albert Bandura and Julian Rotter. For more information, Albert Bandura is a Canadian-American psychologist, a professor emeritus at Stanford University, and is widely regarded as one of the greatest living psychologists. He is also an influential social cognitive psychologist who is perhaps best known for his social learning theory and the concept of self-efficacy. While Julian Rotter is an American psychologist who is known for developing influential theories, including social learning theory and locus of control. After earning his doctorate from Indiana University, Rotter became an advisor to the United States Army during World War II. Bandura renamed the theory as social cognitive theory to emphasize the cognitive aspect of learning, which explains human behavior by citing three factors which are in continuous interaction resulting in a process or reciprocal determinism or triadic reciprocal causality. Namely, first we have the personal factors in the form of cognition, affect, and biological effects. Second is the behavior, and then the third one is the environmental influences, which will be discussed by the next reporter.
I am Elizabeth Oriiro and I'm going to discuss about the three factors of reciprocal determinism. Bandura renamed the theory as social cognitive theory to emphasize the cognitive aspect of learning, which explains human behavior by citing three factors which are in continuous interaction resulting in a process or reciprocal determinism or triadic reciprocal causality. Namely, the first one is the personal factors in the form of cognition, affect, and biologic events. The individual components includes all the characteristics that have been rewarded in the past. Personality and cognitive factors play an important part in how a person behaves, including all of the individual's expectations, beliefs, and unique personality characteristics. The second one is the behavior. According to the concept of reciprocal determinism, a person's behavior is influenced through cognitive process and environmental factors, such as stimuli. The third one is the environmental influences. The environmental components refers to the context in which the behavior occurs. More than a person's physical environment, this includes their social environment as well. Specifically, what people are present or absent, and the attitudes, beliefs, and ideas these people hold. A person's physical and social environment influences the intensity and frequency of the behavior, just as the behavior itself can have an impact on the environment. That's all, thank you. Let's move on to the next reporter.
Social cognitive theory. Social cognitive theory emphasizes that cognition plays a critical role in people's capability to construct reality, self-regulate, encode information, and perform behaviors. This theory provides a framework for understanding how people actively shape and are shaped by their environment. In particular, this theory details the processes of observational learning and modeling, and the influence of self-efficacy on the production of behavior. A major component of this theory is observational learning, wherein this is the process of learning desirable and undesirable behaviors by observing others, then reproducing learned behaviors in order to maximize rewards.
Hi, I am Sophia Ann S. Loreno, explaining the self-efficacy is the single most important aspect of the scene of self that determine one effort to change behavior according to Bandura, equated with self-confidence in one ability to successfully perform a specific type of action. Example, a person may experience high level of self-efficacy in preparing low salt, low cholesterol diet but very little self-efficacy in performing the prescribed exercise.
Hello everyone, I'm Apo Julie Paran and I will be reporting on a person can increase self-efficacy through first is personal mastery of the task. It is the best way to increase your self-efficacy because if you master your task and do it successfully, it gives you motivation to set another task again and do it successfully. In that matter, it will make you independent in living your life, doing your work personally and successfully. Second is observing the performance of others. If you look to your surrounding or the other people, you can see other people failing their goal in life because they did that. And it gives you an idea on what to do now. Because you can learn from other people's mistake. And if you see and other people successful in life, it gives you also a motivation to work hard and make your life better and make your goal successful. Now we go now to the other reporter.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Otiotion Officer Joy. Apo has already explained the personal mystery and observing the performances, so I will continue from there by explaining the verbal persuasion such as receiving suggestions from others. Verbal persuasion involves someone convincing another person that they have the capability to perform a task successfully. For example, if I am telling my brother that he is capable of achieving greatness in his field of football and he should set out to achieve anything his heart desired. This is how verbal persuasion works in action. So in other words, verbal persuasion means trying to talk to someone or trying to encourage someone that they can do a particular task. So I'll move to the next one, which is the arouser of his or her emotional state. So the next one is arouser of his or her emotional state. When we talk about this, we're actually talking about a state of heightened physiological activities. Emotional states are accompanied by arousal, our experience of the bodily response created by the sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system. Arousal describes the state of feeling awake, activated, and highly reactive to stimuli. Examples of arousal are anger. You would feel alarmed, awakened, and scared. In construction of emotional coping response, a person must be able to deal with any source of anxiety surrounding that behavior. In order to learn, we have to make sure we learn how to regulate our negative emotion. Reaction to stress. Most times we transfer aggression like getting angry, sadness, fear, etc., etc. All these contribute to our negative emotion, which affect our daily activities. We should learn how to control ourselves. Thank you, and let's move to the next reporter.
There are several constructs in social learning theory which helps to explain learning. It emphasizes the importance of observing and imitating the behaviors, attitudes, and emotional reactions of others. Social learning theory considers how both environmental and cognitive factors interact to influence human learning and behavior. One of these constructs is the value expectancy theory. First is reinforcement equals learning, but this means raising the value of academic tasks is equally important, but the general strategies for doing so are different than for raising expectations. Increasing value requires linking the task to students' personal interests and prior knowledge, showing the utility of the task to students' future goals, and showing that the task is valuable to other people whom students respect. Next is reinforcement plus an individual's expectation of the consequence of behavior equals behavior. So the relationship between expectation and value is multiplicative rather than additive because it states that individual's behavior is a function of its consequences. It is based on law of effect. For example, individuals' behavior with positive consequences tends to be repeated, but individuals' behavior with negative consequences tends not to be repeated.
Hi, I am Jennifer Marapok and I'm going to explain the direct reinforcement and vicarious. Direct reinforcement refers to an individual watches a model perform, imitates that behavior, and is reinforced or punished by some individual. For example, a child engages effectively with his or her peers in a group activity. They are more likely to be invited to join in a group activities. In this situation, the child seeks attention and involvement, and the attention they receive reinforces their proper interaction. For vicarious, occurring in unexpected or abnormal part 1, it is imposed on one person in place of another. For example, experienced or felt by empathy with or imaginary participation in the life of another person.
Good day, I'm Ronel Manaog, and today I will be discussing to you about vicarious reinforcement. So, vicarious reinforcement is a form of learning behavior through reward and punishment. So, we will study this concept in greater detail and understand how it forms an important part of the learning process involves record keeping to the participant of his behavior. When the behavioral is performed correctly, the person would be giving a desired reward. If a person's behavior is performed to increase how often the person repeats the behavior. Construct of self-control is applied. This is the ability to regulate one's emotion, thoughts, behavior in the face of temptation and impulse. Reflects the idea that individuals may gain control of their own behavior by monitoring it. This refers to an individual's belief in her own capacity to execute behaviors. Thank you, and let's move on to the next reporter.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason Nicole Perez and I'm here to give the other construct applicable to learning the situation in health education. So first is the behavioral capability. So behavioral capability is to refer a person's actual ability to perform a behavior through essential knowledge and skills, and must know what the behavior are and how to perform them, and need clear instructions or training. So example, a smartphone app that teaches the basic personal financial management skills. So that is the behavioral capability. Next is the expectations. So expectations, a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future, and refers to the ability of humans to think and expect certain results in certain situations. For example, I'm expecting that all of Martinsen are passed this second semester. So that is the expectations. Next is the expectancies, the state of thinking or hoping that something, especially something pleasant, and will happen or be the case. And the values such as chest x-rays for tuberculosis screening that people place on an expected outcome. And the more highly valued the expected outcome, the more likely the person will perform the needed behavior to yield that outcome. Examples include the social confidence, sexual attractiveness, and the general euphoria. Thank you, and let's move on to the next reporter.
Hi, I am Tizan Mukoye. I am here to explain the efficacy expectations and the outcome expectation. First, the efficacy expectation. An efficacy expectation can be defined as a person's conviction that one can successfully execute the behavior required to produce a certain outcome. These efficacy expectations are feelings of expectancy. For example, avoidance behavior. Now the outcome expectation. The outcome expectations are person's belief in the effect of an action of achieving a particular outcome. Outcome expectations are chiefly seen as being important in deciding to change behavior. Examples include the social confidence, the sexual attractiveness, and the general euphoria. Thank you.
And that's all for today. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye!